happened was they moved the zone 3. Like when they announced, they said, oh, zone 3 can load. Or
That you know?
Yeah, I'm like putting it on record so that people can watch afterwards. So do you want to be on camera?
No.
No, I'm like recording so that we can watch it later if in case you guys want me. Because sometimes I speak too fast.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like nice to process later. So there are 2 incidents I'm going to talk about. Like last week we spoke about one, so I'm going to let you catch up. She's going to share afterwards what she learned. So I was sharing like how the airport was announcing zone 3 can board now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they were letting us board through the zone 2 lane, and they didn't take off the barrier, like how you have this tape, right? So some people just
go under,
move it. And there was a lady in front of us, and she was on the other side where, other side of the barrier,
right.
And her family was behind us. And my son didn't get under with us. So he's still texting and stuff. And then he got in, and she got really mad that he cut through.
He just wasn't.
So she had a problem with that. So I'm telling her it's all part of our family.
Right. He was just texting. He just didn't.
Yeah. And so she said, my family is before him and stuff. And I said, we are all part of the same family. And
going to the same place.
And he's a kid anyway. I don't want him to go back and come back. And so I'm trying to say, and you know what she says? Okay, go ahead. She flicks her hand, and it was very painful for me, right? It's like a dirt,
go.
But the weird thing is, my husband didn't think it was a problem, because my husband says he's siding with her. He says how bad the airplane was, they didn't even take it into account, and he overlooked the fact that she was doing the flicking and stuff, and I found that more offensive. So, Anna, it's very interesting how people process information. So, same thing happened. So, you now share, and I'll tell you another incident. So, what was it that you thought about for last week?
I realized, my husband will do things like that, or if I talk to him and he's on the computer or on his phone and he doesn't look at me while I'm talking to him, it drives me crazy. And I feel can you at least have the respect to turn and
I'm talking.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm asking you something.
What are you talking about?
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You're not listening to me.
Yes. Actually,
there's so many other things. Yeah. The big thing is we'll argue and it'll be this big blowout, and he will find the most hurtful things to say as possible.
Oh yeah, because he wants to get you more pissed off.
Yeah. And then
getting under your skin.
Later, he'll say, "Oh, so you want to go for ice cream?" And I'm why are you even in the same house with me right now?
Yeah, you just put me down and made me feel like a piece of crap. Yeah. And now you that. Well, are you the same person that was just here?
Yeah.
10.5 hours
ago?
He thinks nothing because you just turned around and caught that's with my daughter. If I say no to her about doing, listen, I have plans to do something, and I have all errands to do. I'm not going to take my days off and do what you need to do. That's not my problem. I said, I got to do my stuff. She had told me, well, my stuff's more important than your dog's stuff. I said, you know what? And I go, my therapist said, you're going to walk away from it. So I've been doing that, trying to not do it all. If I'm feeling bad, don't do it. And she would do that, and I'd say, okay. And then I said, if you're going to sit there and put me down and make me feel like a piece of crap, I'm not texting you and I'm not answering your call anymore. And I did it, and then the next day she'll call me and she'll go, Mom, can you out there? And doesn't happen. And I'm like, really? And then one day I'm the best mom because I give her money, and then the next day I'm an asshole. You know what I'm saying?
How old was she?
23. She's in the car right now waiting for me. Because I got to go get my license renewed. I came by everywhere. Registry was closed. The courthouse was closed yesterday. I came here, you were closed.
I think it's because the state has decided yesterday to open late.
Yeah, they have an appointment at quarter 12.
Yeah, after 11 only they open. But anyway, so to wrap up, right? So one of the thing, what was because of the conversation, you kind of felt like it's interesting how people react differently, right?
Yeah.
So what I got out of it is that hurts when my husband does like the flicking more than what the word he used, because it's not what he says, it's the
How
tone
yeah.
he uses and
Like
the
it, that was no big
gesture,
deal.
the body,
Like,
the
there was no big
gesture.
deal.
It makes me feel like a bottom of the dirt, you know,
Yeah,
and
like
it's
a
like
peel
his
on his
feet,
foot.
like, you know, it's like
bottom
a
of his feet,
trash,
dirt on the
right?
bottom
It's
of
like
his
a
feet.
trash. You treat me like a trash, and then
you
you
don't think
expect
that
me
that's hurtful.
to
You should
hurt.
say something like
Yes.
to the lady, ma'am.
See, but
He's
the
with us, and that's
no,
my
no,
son.
but the thing is, right?
You shouldn't
My
be flicking.
husband was right there, and it didn't bother him. So that's when it occurred to me. When he does that, it probably doesn't occur to him. It hurts me. So that is one interesting. But then there was another incident that happened. We had a town meeting, and me and my husband, we are talking, right? It's so fine. They decided to have a Holliston Drug and Alcohol Committee. And usually when in public, I never acknowledge he's my husband. So I'm in one end of the, unless like, you know, I look Indian and he looks American. Now, obviously people don't even connect us as a couple, right? So I'm in one end of the table and he was in another end of the table. And the Holliston committee decided to vote for the chairman. Okay, we didn't have a lot of people then, like maybe like 7 or so. So there is a reporter, Holliston reporter girl, who's very, very popular, and she has more clout. And she was like, you know, trying to see who would want to be the chairman. So nobody answered. I said, if nobody wants, I would be the chairman. And I said, I don't mind taking responsibility. Meantime, my husband says, I'm going to vote for Gina. There is another girl who wanted his support. They already talked. They go to AA meeting together or something. And so, but I said, she didn't volunteer.
Right.
And he says,
Yes.
no, she wanted us to vote for her.
Nominate her.
So then the Holliston reporter girl says, why don't you, to my husband? And that's when I thought, like, you know, the world corrected itself. Like, we were equal and opposite, and we were on the same table, and everybody, like, you know, there were 2 people who supported me at that point, and 2 people supporting him. And I said, how cute it is, the universe.
You don't
is
even
like,
know that we're together.
Yeah.
And you nominate 2 people.
Like, you know, I that is the first time I felt the universe honored us together. Like, we were equal voting.
You were equal.
Till then, victim abuse. Like, you know, we were having this dysfunctional relationship. So, like, I felt like it was very healing.
You were equal.
So then I was talking, and this Holliston reporter totally blew me off, and she's listening to him. And then, so then I asked, why didn't Gina vote herself? Like, why didn't she voice? And so he looked at me and he just said no. So that's when Holliston reporter said, so you guys know each other? And he said, yeah, she's my wife. So it was so funny, right? Like, so, like, just by eye movement, they could, like, see we were connecting. And that's when it dawned on them we were knowing each other. Because they thought we were a different committee.
Yeah.
And so the girls who supported me didn't know I was with him. But anyway, so I said, okay, in that case, I said, I can withdraw. I said, Gina can be the president. And so she ended up being the chairman. But there were so many things happening. And afterwards, I was telling him how rude this reporter was. That, like, I'm talking and she, like, you know, totally like talking over me. And he says, no, because she's not even letting me finish and stuff. And he said, no, she talks like a male, because he says male or goal-oriented talking. They don't care about process. Females, on the other hand, want the process, how we arrive at certain conclusions and stuff. And he says she really wanted this thing to be finalized and not distracted. And so she ignored everybody, because when some people are so tuned to gossip together, they tune out other people's voice, so they cannot even hear them. He says that's their style. And they don't even know they are rude. And I was thinking, that's so interesting. He can get it and I cannot. See, I thought it was insulting, but he didn't even feel insulted.
No.
Because he felt, male to male, they were talking. He kind of like,
yeah.
which is kind of weird,
Yeah, it's
right?
opposite because you think a different way. Like you,
I don't want to offend people, like, and I'm like being nice, but they don't care.
You don't care. No, they don't care. And
Men
My
are.
father used to tell me, you're too damn sensitive.
yeah.
No, it's not sensitive. They want the outcome. See, they want this to be wrapped up and gone. Yeah, like they don't want nothing to be addressed that is apart from task. Like, they want things done and they want it to be closing that work. And it doesn't matter whether you shed tears or not, it doesn't matter. Right? Like they want it to be wrapped up. So that was very interesting. And that's what I wanted to put it on record, because once we understand how male talks, then you don't even need to process the emotion, process it with somebody else. See, he was an asshole, he treated me bad, should be told to somebody else because they are not having that emotional peace at all. So the language of integrity which we speak, the first is I am upset. If nobody hears you, don't go to the next level. The next level is I perceive, but that's our perception, but it's not their reality because they perceive very, very differently. They are in a very different angle. They are not even looking at what we are looking at. Third thing is our belief system. Like what is it we believe in versus them? Because they are not even believing in what we do. Fourth one is when boundary comes in. Boundary is my husband will jump from upset to, because he says, I don't care what is going on, but I want this. If you're not doing this, this is the outcome you're going to face. So the three things is washed under the rug. But for me, that three thing has to be addressed for me to come to boundary. So I have a time lag. So one of the things we were talking, there was another lady who said her husband is getting more visually impaired. So she says she tries to catch up with so much work for his sake, and it hurts her when he doesn't acknowledge what she's doing. He says, when is the coffee going to be ready? But he doesn't acknowledge that she cooked nonstop for him. She's doing things he's not able to do. And he is annoyed, or rather hurt. I don't know whether I can use the word hurt for men. I have to use a different word. I have to coin a different word. And so they were talking to me how difficult it was, their relationship. So I'm telling her, you need to buy time from him. And for him, I said, you need to give her time. So you need to understand how to buy time, how to lose time. So I told her, your problem is you're agreeing to him, but under breath. If in case he says, honey, is the coffee ready? You say, yes, honey, in 5 hours. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you buy time in male, meaning when, so essentially you're essentially dealing with your upset and other stuff, and then address what he's saying. So I usually buy 24 hours from my husband. If he comes and says, hey, can you do this for me? I say, hey, I need a little time, okay? But in my mind, automatically it's 24 hours. So I make him forget it. See, because I pretend as though I forgot. See, we are very smart at those things. So go get something done, manicure,
do it in a couple hours, and then the next day.
No, you don't even. See, the thing is, you shouldn't give that information to them. A couple of hours, you say, honey, of course, I'm going to take care of you. Under your breath, you say, in 1 day. Right? Then they think you're being addressed. I said, I agreed, but not necessarily this minute, right? My problem is I agree without taking the time to process it. So one of the things, actually, there was a lawsuit we are all going through, so many lawsuits this year because of. So one of the things the lawyer said was, whenever they ask a question, take a breath so that time we can say objection and other stuff, then answer. And even legally they are doing it. So I am going to give you guys the same thing. Take a breathing space and see how many breathing space you need. By cosmic law, law, because that's what in India we follow. It's called Sanatana Dharma. That is, what is the law I follow inside? It's called Swa Dharma. Swa means mind. my values, my beliefs, my perception, which he is ignoring, right? Because he's ignoring that I'm upset. Dharma means truth, my truth, right? Dharma also could mean eternal law, like law and order. So dharma usually follows the truth, right? There is a truth inside we hold. That's what we reflect. So one of the things is you need to say, so you need to understand Swadharma is 100 breath, 1,600 breath per day. You need to take deep breath without feeling hurt.
I'd be dead if I took that many breaths.
No,
Deep
but
breaths.
what I'm saying is you're allowed that much breathing space. But when you get closer and closer to another person, your breathings get shorter and shorter and shorter. And if you can answer them without even taking a breath, you're that close to them.
Right.
So you need to understand how many breaths it takes me to be in that space with them. That's why, like, see, people who are very close to us in our inner space are capable of hurting us more. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So literally think of it as a breathing space. How many breaths it takes for you to cool down and be in their space so you can answer. Does it
You're
make
not
sense?
being impulsive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So instead of, because everything is our breathing space. If somebody makes us lose our breathing space, we get annoyed and we yell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by breathing space, it's not time. It's a space you hold. So then, so that is what we process. Male, on the other hand, is their goal. They don't care how many breaths you take. They choke you, right? They make you lose your voice. They kill you.
So you're annoyed and they.
So that's the ultimate goal they want. They want you to be shut up so you don't have a life.
Yeah.
So buy life from them and they give you life. That's all. It's as simple as that. And so breathing space is what we need to focus on. And for male also, it's the same thing. It's not like they don't understand us. They cannot process the same way like us. They have an empty box, so they don't use emotions at all. On the other hand, we are always floating in emotions. That's why the tears come very quick for us. My husband came and told me, honey, you don't cry anymore. I'm so shocked. I said, I nowadays cry only when somebody's very nice to me. Because you go to that level in a relationship, you only are moved when somebody is big and nice, right? So that's what I'm going to wrap up.
Wow.